So now you've chosen the format of your show, you've taken care of the gear, your audience, the name, you've decided whether you want to hire an assistant producer and understand why it's worth doing that. You understand the difference between documentation versus content. You've chosen your distribution and publishing platform, the audio software you'll use to actually record it, and the show format, right? So now we're getting close to the end of all the pre-production, and I think you close it out by choosing the music that you want to use for the intro and outro bumps. It's a pretty standardized practice. It's not necessary. You don't even need to use music. You can avoid that and just go directly into the audio conversation. It's not something that's done normally, but then again, that's because it's a practice that was brought in from radio, and a lot of people think that they need to start off with some music. Now you can just have a voiceover for an introduction, and you can switch it up every single time. Or you can actually add some music and have people fall in love with a customized jingle. You can find someone on Fiverr or Upwork who can produce something for you, custom totally to you. Or you can do what most people do, and they go the route of using royalty-free options. Like there's a company named Epidemic Sound, another called Ben Sound, and I'm trying to think. There's another one, Artlist. Maybe the other one. There's a few options out there. All I have to do is a quick Google search for royalty-free music. Then there's the idea always comes up like, well, can I use a song that I like that's a popular song? I'm not a lawyer, so I can't tell you, but what exactly like what the legal definitions are. From what I do understand, however, there is like a 20-second, maybe 15-second. The way Instagram allows you to only use a blip, a moment in time of the song. That's kind of what you're allowed to do, but you still run into some iffy areas. And so, speaking of that legalese, it's important you determine whether or not you're going to be cursing on your show, because if you do curse and your show isn't listed as explicit, this is just a pro tip. If Apple finds out and some child is listening to it and it gets flagged, that's the end of your show. It's a wrap. So do yourself a favor and determine whether you're going to be cursing or not. And when you're publishing your episode, you choose explicit on purpose. And that goes for music. If you're using explicit music or you're using explicit words over your intro and outro bumps. Other than that, the intro is a perfect opportunity for you to make people feel, that old feeling of there goes the voice in the intro, sort of a jingle, if you will. But it's also, for the outro bump, it's the opportunity for you to have a voiceover over the music where you create your call to action and you remind people to subscribe, to leave reviews, or any other call to action you have in mind. That's really the gist of all the pre-production that you need, all the videos before and now. That's basically pre-production in a nutshell. If you take care of all that, then you're ready to move on to post-production and get your show on the road.